Hey rodeo fans, and welcome back to another episode of Reno Rodeo 365. I'm your host, Jen Fisk, here to bring you all things rodeo all the time. We are just 205 days away from the wildest, richest rodeo in the West, but a lot has happened lately. Hopefully you made it down to Carson City for the Nevada Day Parade, and maybe even stood outside in the cold, rain, and snow for ticket release day. And if you don't have your tickets yet, don't worry, because you can get them online at renorodeo.com. Just make sure you're buying them directly from the Reno Rodeo website and not a third-party reseller. The most expensive rodeo ticket you should be buying is $34 plus taxes and fees. So if you see anything other than that, you're not getting them from www.renorodeo.com. Coming up in December, we also have the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo from December 5th through 14th in Las Vegas. And you can watch it live with our partners on the Cowboy Channel. And for the first time ever, the Miss Rodeo America pageant is also streaming live on the Cowboy Channel. You can watch past Miss Reno Rodeo and current Miss Rodeo Nevada, Anna Marie Vogadez, vie for the title of Miss Rodeo America 2025. Coming up on this episode, we'll hear from our specialty sales committee and the perfect Reno Rodeo merchandise gifts you can snag for Christmas, as well as dive into the volunteer opportunities of the Reno Rodeo Foundation. And of course, we'll be pointing out the cowboys and cowgirls you must watch down at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. All right back here on Reno Rodeo 365.
Keep it dirty. Get outside. Join the movement. A proud sponsor of the Reno Rodeo.
Welcome back, everyone. Standing next to me is Josh Pierce. He's the chairman of our specialty sales committee. And if you've been to the Reno Rodeo, you probably walked by a Reno Rodeo merchandise booth. Today, we are in the Reno Rodeo office. Josh, give us a rundown of what exactly specialty sales is, and then we'll get into the lovely attire we're wearing.
So specialty sales is we are the only provider of Reno Rodeo logoed merchandise. You can't get anywhere else. And we have a storefront this year. That's what we're standing in right now. And we have a lot of great sales going on.
Yeah, absolutely. You can come down and get your Christmas shopping in. Thanksgiving's just a couple days away. Black Friday is around the corner. Are there Black Friday sales for Reno Rodeo merchandise?
Oh, yeah, there is. So right now we have in-store only. We have buy one, get one 50% off whiskey. And we also have keychains, koozies, T-shirts, hats, all discounted. Those are also discounted online as well.
Awesome. And the whiskey is in a Reno Rodeo branded bottle, so they kind of make a nice memorabilia if you finish it.
Yep. Yes, it is. It's a single barrel bottle of whiskey branded with a metal keychain on it. It's beautiful.
I think the best part about Reno Rodeo merchandise is that you can find something for all the different theme nights. So how throughout the year, when it comes to designs or planning, is that all you? Because I feel like most people wouldn't expect a man to be behind the brains of this operation.
Yes, it is all me. I do have help. I ask input of everyone on my committee, as well as in the association. I take any help I can get. But yeah, I am solely in charge of picking out and designing.
And I fully trust you in that because you are no stranger to the camera and fashion, considering he has walked in the last 2 years Reno Rodeo fashion shows that we've had during the tailgate parties. So it's always been a joy having you there. You're wearing one of our pearl snap button-ups right now. I've got on one of the quarter zip jackets, Reno Rodeo branded. You did mention this is the only place where you can get Reno Rodeo branded logos. So what are some other highlights that you might find in here when it comes outside of clothing?
So outside of clothing, we also have Yetis, all the cup line. We are coming out with some Yeti coolers that will be branded Reno Rodeo. We have flasks, shot glasses, you name it, we probably will have it.
Montana Silversmith jewelry is also something that we have here not Reno Rodeo branded, all of it, but some beautiful Montana silversmith pieces. Belt buckles are already on sale for this next year. We talked about buckles on the last episode of Reno Rodeo 365, and I think those are really awesome. I'm wearing mine from last year, that Carrie Ann design, and it was my favorite.
Oh no, this year Jim did a pretty good design. It's going to be tough to compete with last year. Carrie Ann did great, but Jim did pretty good.
He did. I will be getting one of those as well, obviously. Stocking stuffers, what are something that you as a guy would want? If someone's out there shopping for their man and they're like, I don't know what to get, what is something that you would not be upset if you found it under the tree?
Oh, I'm a koozie guy all day. I love putting a koozie on my cold drinks. And, keychains never bad. We have knives as well from Montana Silversmith. Bottle of whiskey isn't going to fit in a stocking stuffer, but you can sure try.
No, but it looks good under the tree.
Yes, it does.
And on the ladies' side of things, I have walked around. There's some beautiful jewelry in here. I'm very comfortable in this sweatshirt, especially with the weather that is in Reno lately. Winter is definitely coming, so it's nice and warm. And I also think that the belt buckles are a great idea. You can't go wrong with a belt buckle, whether or not you are a cowboy or cowgirl at heart.
Yep, correct. Can never go wrong with a buckle.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for taking the time. Thanks for all the work that you put into this committee throughout the year. We wouldn't have Reno Rodeo branded merchandise without you. Is there anything else you can share with us, like where we can find Reno Rodeo merchandise during the rodeo, since it's so busy with all the vendors?
Yes, we will have a location in the indoor arena during the daytime events. We also have a location in the sales tent, and we have in the mercantile, which is under Grandstand 5, buckles and jewelry. We'll have all the buckles, jewelry in there, plus our merchandise, and we'll probably have a few items in the storefront during rodeo during the daytime.
Perfect. You can grab a wonderful throw blanket for the cold nights during rodeo or in the winter here. Josh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right after this, we'll be back with more on the Reno Rodeo Foundation.
Branded screen printing. Get noticed. Get branded. Branded Screen Printing, a proud sponsor of the Reno Rodeo.
Get everything we've got for 2024 with an annual subscription to Cowboy Channel Plus. Sign up today at cowboychannelplus.com and get on-demand access to the 2023 encore of the National Finals Rodeo, the Texas Swing, over 950 live rodeo performances, and the 2024 NFR. Start the year off right by subscribing to Cowboy Channel Plus and start watching the Cowboy Channel today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Standing next to me is Cherie Boatler, the Executive Director of the Reno Rodeo Foundation. How are you today?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me on. I'm great, thanks.
Good, I'm so glad to hear that. Cherie, just give us a quick rundown on the difference in the Reno Rodeo Foundation and the Reno Rodeo Association. A lot of people don't know that they are two different things, so I want to hear from you.
Yeah, so we are one rodeo family. The Reno Rodeo Association puts on the Reno Rodeo every year, and they're members of the Reno Rodeo Association. The Reno Rodeo Foundation is a charitable nonprofit here in the community that gives back to the community. The largest donor of our organization is the Reno Rodeo Association.
Great, we love to hear that. And then throughout the year, obviously, lots of scholarships are always presented when it's rodeo time. You know, high school seniors, if you're out there, this is definitely some interesting information to you. But how does that support come to the foundation?
So we have donors. We have community donors. Like I said, we have the Reno Rodeo Association, which is our largest donor, founding organization and our largest donor. And so we're able to do much of what we do because of the Reno Rodeo. And then also community support.
Yeah. And what happens throughout the year? I know there's all, fundraisers. We've got the denim drive going on. Talk to us a little bit about what happens throughout the year, what's coming up, and how we can get involved.
Yeah, so right now we're in the middle of our denim drive, and our denim drive is a drive to support foster children within our community. And so what we're looking for is monetary support, also new clothes and hygiene items and backpacks and luggage. And then the way this works is that what we do in 2016, we kind of moved to a more monetary model. And the reason why we did was because we found that children are taken from their homes in the middle of the night, any time of day. And so now what we do is we provide purchasing cards for the caseworkers to take that child to the store and get them immediately what they need. Most of these kids have only what are on their backs. And so they need that immediately. So that's what the monetary donations go towards. And then anything that is donated, we have distribution events throughout the year. Our first one will be in in January, and then we'll have them for every season next year. And so we do this 365 days out of the year. Well, this is our biggest drive for this. We accept donations all year long, and we have, like I said, distribution events all year long. And so we accept volunteers for that. We like people to help out with that.
And we are a community of people who know how to volunteer and help.
Yes, for
These boxes, if you'll help me lift that up, these boxes right here are what we can find around town for those distributions. And what is it that you're looking for other than the monetary donations if someone can't give monetarily?
Yes. So what we're looking for is really the essentials, like t-shirts, socks, underwear, hygiene items.
All brand new.
All brand new. We only accept
No used underwear, please.
No used items. Yes. Especially underwear or socks, But what we do is we provide those all year long. We're looking for diapers. We're looking for formula. We're looking for all of those things. And we also have an Amazon wish list.
I love Amazon.
So we have an Amazon wish list that you can purchase items directly from Amazon, and they're sent to us, and then we distribute them to the caseworker.
Amazing. So you can look for these. I think there's a list either on the Reno Rodeo website or on the foundation website of where these boxes are.
Mm-hmm. So there is a list on the Reno Rodeo Foundation website, which is renorodeo.foundation.org. And also there's a link to the Denim Drive pages and information on the Reno Rodeo Association page.
Awesome. And then we all love free money. And as we mentioned just a few minutes ago, high school seniors, lots of scholarships. How can people be on the lookout of applying to those, and what can they do to maybe better their chances or start preparing for those?
Yes. So this is actually perfect timing to talk about this, because normally we release our scholarship application in November. However, we're in the process of revamping that process. Okay. And so it's going to be launched in January. And so they can find that information on the renorodeo.foundation.org site. And at this time, write stuff in your own words. Don't use AI. That's one of the biggest things that I would say to students this year is really, really say your story when you're filling out that application. And ask questions. If you have questions about your application, reach out to me or anyone on the scholarship committee, because we love questions.
Good luck if you're applying to any of those scholarships. You walked us into that one. How do we get in touch with you or the foundation should we have questions regarding the Denim Drive scholarships or other donation opportunities?
Yes. So you can go to renorodeo.foundation.org, or you can email us at info@renorodeo.foundation.org, or you can call us at 322-9875.
There you go. Thank you so much, Cherie. It was a pleasure having you on and getting to meet you. You are a joy to the Reno Rodeo Foundation. We're so happy that you are our executive director. Ladies and gentlemen, stay on the lookout for those scholarship deadlines and information as they come out in January. We'll be right back after this commercial break from our sponsors with some very exciting updates and cowboys to watch out for at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Rustic Roping and Treasures, a proud sponsor of the Reno Rodeo.
All across America, hardworking farm and ranch families grow the food that feeds us and form the backbone of countless communities. As a proud American company, we're here to say thanks with Polaris Ag Advantage, an exclusive program to support America's farmers and ranchers in recognition for all you do. Learn more at polarisagadvantage.com.
Welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed those guests. Don't forget to get your Reno Rodeo tickets now that they are online. And if you are headed down to Las Vegas, look for the big Reno Rodeo bus driving around Sin City in the bright lights of Las Vegas. If you see it, snap a photo and tag us on all Reno Rodeo social medias. Also in Las Vegas, keep an eye out for barrel racer Haley Kinsel as she heads to Sin City in the top spot, a 12-jump lead on her standing last year when she rolled into the Thomas and Mack. Keep eyes on her to see if she can clinch her 5th WPRA world title. Would it really be a national finals rodeo without a Wright brother? Ryder Wright is the Reno Rodeo Saddle Bronc champion and heads to Las Vegas for his 9th Wrangler NFR qualification in 2nd place, right behind Damian Brennan, who's chasing his 1st world title at his 2nd time in the Thomas and Mack. Can the Utah Cowboy win his 3rd world title? Heading down to Las Vegas for his 6th time in a row, Shad Mayfield, who's won the last 2 years of the Reno Rodeo in the tie-down roping. He's currently sitting 1st in both the all-around and the tie-down roping events. And let's hear from him ourselves, everyone, Shad Mayfield.
Hey, Shad, how's it going? Welcome to Reno Rodeo 365. Thanks so much for taking the time to jump online with us. Hi, thanks for having me on.
So, you are no stranger to Reno Rodeo, the wildest, richest rodeo in the West. You've won the last 2 years. How does it feel? And of course, I'm a little biased, but how does it feel to have a win like that under your belt, just back to back?
Yeah, it's awesome to get a win back to back like that, especially at the Reno Rodeo. That was a rodeo I dreamed of winning all throughout when I was a little kid. My dad, he's an old tie down roper, and all they used to talk about back in the day was when we go over there to Reno. So I heard a lot of really good stories about Reno, and it was dang sure one of the biggest rodeos to start off the summertime. So it kind of gives you a big jump going into the summertime, helps you get a lot of good stuff under you as you feeling good and roping good after you leave there.
Absolutely. So, has your dad come to Reno with you since his time competing out here?
Yeah, he has. My rookie year at Reno, he was rodeoing with me all year, and we went to Reno. He said that was his favorite rodeo, and I came back to the Smart Go second high call that year and broke a barrier, and I was like, gosh, dang, I wish I wouldn't have broke the barrier. And then a couple years I didn't do no good, and then past couple years I won the rodeo, so it's definitely been one that I've always done good at.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great for a three-peat. So, when we see you back in June, our fingers are definitely going to be crossed for that one for you.
Yeah, three even better for sure. Yeah, but like I said, it's just an awesome rodeo, and especially my horse Lollipop. She won Horse of the Year this year, and that's one of her favorite rodeos and favorite setups for sure is places like Reno. So she's 75% of what I do, and she helps me out a lot in that area.
So, on the horse topic, do you take the same horse to every rodeo? I'm sure it depends on how far you're traveling, but she seems reliable for you. So, how do you determine who you're riding and how the rodeo summer goes or the season goes?
Yeah, so I usually take three horses with me on the road when I leave out in the summertime. It's kind of good to have a couple extra horses on under you because first, I mean, horses they take it. They got a hard job. They're on the trailer most of the time, and then all the runs that they take. So it's always good to kind of give your good one a rest and have another one that you can be able to get on. And also always had really good horses that I could also get on besides Lollipop, but Lollipop, really ride her at like Reno and stuff like that, the bigger rodeos, the bigger payouts. Because every ride on her, I got to make it count because she's getting older now, and I definitely want to save her for places like the NFR and stuff. So, bigger rodeos, that's typically where I'll ride Lollipop at.
I love the name Lollipop. It's fun, it's lighthearted. I know it's your job, and when you're in that arena, you're competing. But I love that she gets to do that with you. You mentioned the NFR having a reliable horse is important. You're heading down for the sixth year in a row, not just first in the tight on roping, but also in the all around. What does that feeling feel like going into the Thomas and Mack? Is it old news? Is it just still a rush every time? How does that compare to just your standard everyday rodeo?
Every time I walk into the Thomas and Mack, I feel like a young kid walking into a big stage. I've always dreamed about every time. There's so much thrill and excitement when you walk into that place, and I'm just very thankful to be able to go back there for my sixth time this year. But yeah, it's looking a little different now that I'm sitting right there in the all around race. So I'm chasing two gold buckles going in the NFR this year, going into number one in both. So a lot of pressure on my back and a lot of other guys kind of gunning at me. But I love the pressure and going into Vegas, there's no place like it. And, you just really got to take, when you're back in the box, you got to take it like it's just any other rodeo. That way you don't put no extra weight on your shoulders or anything, and just have fun with it because, I've been there and I've taken it too serious at times. And now that I've been there a few times, I'm starting to realize you got to enjoy these moments and make fun out of it because they don't come around. They won't come around forever.
Absolutely. And you mentioned heading in the top in two spots, like we said, the all around. So for those that aren't familiar with that category, how do you qualify to be in the all around in addition to the title roping?
The all around is handed or given to somebody that competes in multiple events. So this year I competed in three other events. I competed in the tie down roping, team roping, and steer roping. So you got to win $3,000 in another event to be able to be eligible for the all around. So that's how I kind of got going. I had won a lot in the calf roping, and the all around weight race was kind of wide open. So I started picking up steer roping and then team roping as well. And I won money in both of those events. So that let me get in the all around race and really going to up against other cowboys that, I have competed in multiple events.
Absolutely. Jack of all trades. 3 events is a lot. Steer roping
It
is not
is.
something we have in Nevada. So for those that have only been to the Reno Rodeo, they've probably not seen it before. Highly encouraged watching it, checking out a YouTube video. Steer roping is a pretty interesting event for those that are unfamiliar. But when you go to rodeos that offer all 3, are you entering in all 3 events? How do you narrow down your scope of preference if you're in a weekend where you've got back-to-back rodeos?
If I have a chance to enter all 3, I definitely do it. I think it's so fun to be able to enter the team roping, steer roping, and calf roping at one rodeo.
Oh my gosh.
It kind of makes me, yeah, it kind of makes me feel like Trevor Brazil at times, and just like Superman. And I remember at Pecos, Texas this year, that was my first time entering all 3 at the same time. And literally, I'd rope my calf, and then the next event would be team roping. I'd rope a steer, and then the next event would be steer roping. And it's just such a fun rush, and you get your adrenaline going. And I think it's fun, but it's also hard to be able to have to maintain all those events all at once because, I'm used to was just focusing on just calf roping and my job there, but now I gotta, check out the team roping, what steer I have, make sure my partner's good, as well as steer roping, make sure my horse is good, find out cattle I have. So it's just a lot to keep up with, but it's fun for sure.
Absolutely. And then each event, of course, in itself has its own parameters per se, of how it's scored, the time. So let's focus on the tie down roping. Obviously, we know the time stops when your hands are in the air after you've tied 3 legs together. So half hitch and a hui is what that knot is called for those that maybe want some rodeo knowledge when watching this. How do you set that aside? Give us a little bit of a rundown of the rodeo event of tie down roping as far as penalties, the barrier, and then the final time.
Tie down roping is more of the athletes of the rodeo world. And that's why I chose tie down roping. I'm always been a sports guy, always played football, basketball, and tie down roping, you have to use your legs. You got to be an athlete and you got to be mobile. And with tie down roping, it starts in the box. We got a box. It's like the starting gate, and we give the calf a head start. And there's a barrier right there. And if you don't give the calf a proper head start, they'll add a barrier to your time, which is a plus 10 seconds. So at start, you got to have, you got to score good and start out the gate good by giving the calf the proper head start. After that, it's fastest guy wins. You want to go out and rope the calf and tie him down. Whoever gets their hands up the fastest wins. But it's one of the oldest tradition of real cowboy work. It's kind of like going out in the pasture. You got to doctor your cattle, make sure they stay healthy. And we just made an event out of it to see who could do it the fastest is what we could say. But it's my favorite event because, like I said, it brings out the athleticism in a cowboy.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite rodeo events for that reason, because the athleticism you're mentioning, but also the connection that you have to have with your horse to trust that animal to, continuously pull that slack out of the rope while you're on the ground, and then to stand there and let you mount, and so the judges can have a good visual. And so I think there's a lot of teamwork between you and the animal, and it's fascinating to watch from a standpoint of view as a rodeo fan, because there's so much that goes into such a short amount of time. I mean, without that 10-second addition, you've got runs under 7, 8, 9 seconds. That's a lot to happen in just a few seconds.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, my horse is 75% of what I do during my competition run. Especially in tie down roping, your horse, their job is so precise and they know their job and they do it well. Your horse has to score good as well as chase the calf down. And I'm getting off my horse running 30 miles an hour. So that's what makes it fun. But there's so much that a tie down roping horse has to do in their job. And that's why I find it as one of the best events for myself.
So running 30 miles an hour, you obviously have to do some sort of fitness to stay in shape outside of, rodeoing. So what kind of workout does an athlete of your caliber do just to stay in shape for the work and the skills that you have to put in on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, you have to be mobile all the time. And that's the thing is I'm always doing stuff in the gym and keeping my body feeling right, as well as keeping myself in the best shape possible. Because getting off a horse going that fast and all the stuff we do, injuries can happen really easily. So you got to stay in the gym and stay in shape, mainly to prevent injuries. Other than that, it's mainly just doing a lot of running and cardio and stuff. Because especially if we go to like a big roping or something, you're roping back to back to back, and your body has to be able to hold up for all that. So a lot of the stuff that I've really had to focus on as I've gotten older is mainly keeping my body healthy and making sure that I'm injury free.
Absolutely. Very important, especially if you expect your horse to be in shape and perform for you. You obviously want to reciprocate that as well. And we love that because we get to see the best version of y'all in the arena. So definitely. You mentioned earlier in the interview that you and your dad were at Reno together, and your dad's a tie-down roper himself. So growing up in a rodeo family, was there ever consideration that it's not something that you wanted to do, or was there no hesitation that this was something you were jumping into?
Well, I always had that dream of being an NFL football player or something like that. I used to love playing sports, love football, when I was a little kid. But roping, it was always my first love, my first dream. I always like being on a horse's back, riding a horse. My dad made the NFR twice, so he's already been down the road, and I'd already had everything laid out for me right there. I just had to go and work hard and show that I wanted to do this for myself. But there were no other things for me besides rodeo, because I just fell in love with horses and being on a horse every day. There's nothing that I'd rather want to do. So I'm glad rodeo worked out for me, because I don't feel like there could have been anything else to go back after rodeo.
Absolutely. You played football. Do you have a favorite team? Do you follow sports outside of professional rodeo? I assume you need something to take your mind off of dirt all the time.
I do. It's funny. I'm from New Mexico and I live in Texas now, but I'm a Colorado fan. I like the Colorado Buffaloes, and in college, Deion Sanders, and I'm a Denver Broncos fan, and I've always have been since I was a little kid. And I've stuck with them when they're good, and I've stuck with them when they're bad. So there ain't no bandwagon. I'm just a true Colorado
That's a
football
true fan.
That's right. That's right.
So if you weren't rodeoing, you said you might have gone professional football. Is there any other dreams you've ever had or wondered, would I be good at this, or man, that'd be fun to try?
Yeah, I like to look at the big picture, and I like golfing, maybe a professional golfer, professional football player, stuff like that. But another thing that I enjoy doing and I do now is kind of a side hustle, other than rodeo, is the construction type work. And
Okay.
I build places and do land development. Actually building my second place now out here in Texas. So I enjoy doing stuff like that. And it's probably something that I'll pick up doing after rodeo's done for me.
There you go. You're young, you've been in the NFR going on 6 times, you've got plenty of career ahead of you with professional rodeo, but what's the timeline look like for you? Do you want to shut it down while your body's still healthy, or do you want to run it until, you feel that your time is there?
That's hard to say.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But right now, talking, I definitely don't want to just run the tank dry and go until I can't do it no more. I like to win and I like to be competitive. So I feel like until I get to a level that I know that I'm just not top of my game, that's when I'll kind of let it loose. And as well as trying to keep my body healthy, I don't want to just wear myself down until I'm
Sure.
way too old. I have my goals, and I'd hope to achieve those goals. And then one day, when I'm not at the top of my game, I'll say, yeah, it's time to let you young kids have it.
And then you'll start professional golf.
And then the golfing will come. Then I'll
Exactly.
be
There
ready
you go.
for golfing.
All right. I want to get to know Shad outside of rodeo when you're, well, partly in tune with it. When you're on the road, what's your favorite snack? How are you staying awake for those long night drives?
Favorite snack, road snack, would be Subway. I love a good Subway sandwich, or
Okay.
going to the gas station, and my choices of food would be Sour Patch Kids.
Nice.
That's what I do. And for an all night drive, we do a lot of all night drives on the road, and so Sour Patch Kids, a Ranch Fuel energy drink, and some sunflower seeds, and I could go a long ways.
That's a well-balanced meal.
That's right.
What do you do to relax?
To relax, sounds weird. I'll probably go get a massage or
Okay.
just hang out in the trailer and watch a movie. You know, it's I like to kind of rest a lot and get a lot of downtime in the trailer. So, hanging out in the trailer and watching a good movie, that's a relaxing day for me.
Well, 'tis the season. There's Christmas movies all day long, so
That's right. It's that time of the year right now.
it is. And then music. I'm sure you with all those long night drives, even just getting ready for a rodeo or any kind of event. What kind of music do you listen to on a day to day, or just to get you in the right headspace?
As much as we're in the truck, I'd listen to literally every type of music you could think of. But I have my favorite selections. Like when I'm getting ready to rope, I always listen to music. I'm a big music guy, and I'll listen to like hip hop, rap. That really gets me pumped up in the mode and gets my head in the game. And on drives, you know, I really like jamming older country music, and it's just a vibe, and it's just the rodeo cowboy vibe is the older country music while a good drive.
That's good. I love it. Country music you can't go wrong with. Christmas country music is sometimes even better. Like you said, 'tis
Yeah,
the
for
season.
sure. For
NFR
sure.
is right around the corner. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask like what you're doing to prepare for it. When do you head to Vegas, and what can we expect to look forward to with you and Lollipop?
Yeah, to prepare for Vegas, I actually just started back roping. I took a little time off and got my body right. And here recently, we've just been back in the practice pen, roping a lot, and especially getting Lollipop ready and keep making sure she's in the best of shape and form as she can be out there. So we got a week left until we head out. So right now, you know, this week we're just going to get a whole bunch of practice in at home and make sure we're at the top of our game for Vegas.
Yeah, and Thanksgiving's coming up, so you can carb load, get some Sour
Yeah,
Patch Kids in there on the
yeah, for
side,
sure.
stock up.
On Thanksgiving, we're definitely going to fill up. So after Thanksgiving, I need to get back in the gym, burn that off before the NFR.
Awesome. Well, Shad, thank you so much. Appreciate your time, appreciate your commitment to the sport, and really just helping us learn more about you and what we can look forward to seeing you and your horses do out there on the road. Obviously, we hope you'll be back in Reno next year, and we'll be watching you on the Cowboy Channel in Las Vegas. But always want to give you athletes the opportunity to shout out your sponsors. So if there's anyone that helps you get down the road, feel free to give them a hoot and holler on here.
Oh yeah, thank y'all for having me on. And there's so many people, that they're to thank. And all my sponsors, I definitely want to thank them. They all know who they are, and all the people that have been in my corner for forever. Couldn't do without those people, as well as keeping God first. Without God, nothing would be possible. So, thank y'all for everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We'll talk to you here in just a second before we log off, but we appreciate you being on Reno Rodeo 365, and we wish you the best of luck down in Las Vegas.
Awesome. Thank y'all.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Shad, for taking the time to talk to us. From the Reno Rodeo family to yours, we wish you the best of luck in Las Vegas. Don't forget to watch the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo live on the Cowboy Channel. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time on Reno Rodeo 365.
It's that time of year. Finding your custom NFR experience just got easier. Returning this year is a resource that links you to every NFR hotel offer. At nfrexperience.com/stay your way, you can shop for the hotel that best fits your plans. You can find information on viewing parties, concerts, price, transportation, location, and so much more, all in one place. Go to nfrexperience.com/stay your way. All Vegas, stay your way.